Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Janette Wagness, and for my senior project, I took on the challenge of rebranding the Walla Walla Symphony. This experience has been so valuable for me, and it's been such an honor to work with such a well respected organization. So, thank you to Linda for providing me with this opportunity. Because it is a rebrand, I focused a lot on visual identity and brand development. And I've learned that rebranding is so much more than just creating a logo. You are building a visual identity for an organization that has, in this case, 120 years of history, and you're trying to communicate their values and everything that they're doing, what they stand for today. And so that's a huge challenge in itself. And then further developing this into a brand personality. And throughout this process, I have developed a personal design philosophy of representing organizations for who they are, honestly. And I am not changing who they are, I'm only changing how they're perceived. And so to do this, I have to understand who they are and what they stand for and what their history is. And so I've done a lot of research, and I visited the symphony and have that experience for myself. And I talked with representatives from the symphony and the CEO, and did some research on their history also. And they have really rich and deep history in Walla Walla. They started in 1907 with a small group of people who wanted to bring great music to the community, and that's literally what they're still doing today. And they are the longest operating symphony west of the Mississippi for about 120 years. And so they take pride in that, and they take pride in bringing great music to the community and providing that experience for people. And so this is their current logo. It is 17 years old. So it is a bit outdated. And I was asking the symphony board the problems they see with it. And here are some of the words they gave me. May be perceived as stuffy, formal, traditional, elite, boring, or irrelevant. Doesn't currently reflect the symphony. There's no consistent color palette. One woman told me that she had recolored the logo about 100 times, and they used about 5 or 6 typefaces. And then I also asked them what they wanted to be perceived as and known for. And some words that they gave me were welcoming, inclusive, vibrant, relevant, exciting, and engaged in the life of the community. I love that. And so the solution to this and to these problems is to create a vibrant identity that is classic, modern, welcoming, inclusive, all while upholding the values of the symphony. And so I had to ask myself, what does the symphony stand for? And so I took a look at the mission and vision statement. And from this, I learned that the Walla Walla Symphony values community. They value symphonic music, and they really value wonderful experiences. And so I used these 3 things as inspiration points to draw from. So keep these 3 things in mind and imagine with me pre pandemic, you're on your way to a symphony performance, and you walk through the doors of Cordner Hall, and you're greeted by all the people around you, lots of familiar faces and lots of new faces. And you all funnel into the auditorium, and you find your seats, the lights dim, and you wait for the music to start. And then it begins. Beautiful, rich melodies fill the room and surround you. You close your eyes, and you are just encapsulated by the melodic sounds of the symphony, surrounded by music and your community. This experience and these values are what I strive to create. And so I created this logo, remembering that experience of experiencing the symphony, being surrounded by music and your community. The cool thing about the symphony is they are not selling a product, they are providing an experience. You go to the symphony to experience wonderful music, being surrounded by your community. At face value, if you don't know anything about it, it is symphonic, it's organic. The swooping lines create movement and rhythm and fluidity. And that's all at face value, but it's so much deeper than that. It was very intentional with the way I created it. The circle is representative of wholeness, of unity, of community, of timelessness, inclusivity, and unbrokenness. So this communicates community. And as a small town, we have a very strong sense of community. And the symphony plays such an important role in that. They're a vital thread in the cultural and arts fabric of the Walla Walla community. The circularity and the movement of the lines in a continuous circular pattern communicate surrounding something, as music surrounds you as you're experiencing the symphony. And of course, the lines represent music and sound waves. But not everyone is going to see this, and that's okay. You know it's about being surrounded by music and your community and values, but not everyone will know that, and that's totally fine. Some people will see violin strings. Some people will see a record player and the lines as the path of the needle that goes around. Some people will see a subwoofer. So it speaks to all generations, but most importantly, it communicates music. And it's okay if people see different things. It just opens the door for conversation, for wonder, and for intrigue. The important thing is it's recognizable, it's unique, and it's memorable. There's nothing like this in the Walla Walla Valley. Here is the full identity with the music director and conductor name, and also features the third color choice, which is a coral. And here is the horizontal version of it, depending on the format which is needed. And here are some different size variations, which will be very important in the brand development side of things. And I also want to talk about the typeface a little bit. The most important thing is that it communicates classical, which embodies the symphony. The typeface is Abril Fatface, which is a modern Didone typeface. It's neoclassical, and it's characterized by the strong contrast between the thick and the thin lines. It's strong, it's functional, it's classical, and it creates an elegant appearance. Rounding out the brand development, I chose two other typefaces, Nanito Sans, which is a sans serif, and which would be used for titles, and Georgia would be used for body copy. So here is an example of all three typefaces being used together, but it is also a PowerPoint template that the symphony can use for presentations. Here are the colors I chose. I think black and white are the most obvious choice as they represent classical, and a symphony. But I'd like to talk about the pop of color I chose. The symphony wanted something bold, and they wanted vibrant, and they wanted exciting. And I think this color communicates that. And it also works because there are no colors like this in the Walla Walla Valley. We have a lot of blues and greens, and so this will really stand out from the rest of the organizations and really pop. And when I first showed this to the CEO, she was like, "Oh, I really love that color, but I thought there would be more colors." And they were talking about adding more colors, and then I remembered that they had recolored the logo about 100 times, and so I got a little worried. And I was like, okay, well, how about we be bold and vibrant in the way we use the color instead of adding 30 colors to the color palette. And so with that in mind, and developing the brand even further, I created a series of posters that would be featured all over town, advertising the season for the symphony. So these would be seen in like Starbucks, in restaurants, and they would just be bright and new and catch your eye. In addition to this, I created business cards. And we have a very, very friendly town, and you often make conversation with people, and they might ask what you do. And you tell them, well, I work at the symphony, and they go, oh, that's so cool. And you start talking, whether you're talking about the performance last night or the musicians or the music or, whatever it is. But the moment you hand them your business card, their view of the symphony is raised about 10 notches, because all of the things that you were just talking about and the passion in your voice, they can now see that visually. And not only can they see it visually, they're holding it in their hand. They can rub their fingers on it, and they can see it, and they can feel it. In addition to the business cards, I developed letterhead, pictured here, and also a thank you card and a general just stationary card that can be used for anything, both following the brand identity. And here is a program cover featuring the season and the theme for the season. Here's an example of vinyl that would be used for their office, which is located above the olive, and I feel like a lot of people don't know that, so this would be signifying where they are and where their office is. And lastly, I created a banner. and this is one of their favorite things. So when you walk through the doors of Corner Hall and you not only see all the people of your community that have come to experience this beautiful music, that you'll also see this identity that embodies all of this and all of the values. And you'll feel pride to be a part of an organization that values providing this experience to the community so much. And that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to hearing your questions on Monday.